thing about forecasting the weather is it's not an exact science. In fact, the clue's in the name. It's a forecast, so we don't always get it right. The weather is a perfect example of what scientists call chaos theory, meaning it's chaotic, so you can't predict exactly what's going to happen. Well, as you can see, it is a cloudy day here in Salford, as correctly predicted last night.
It's going to be quite cloudy for the next few days, particularly in western areas.
At the moment, forecasters get the weather for the next day right more than 8 times out of 10 and are getting more accurate all the time.
Meteorologist Sarah Cruddas is showing me the forecast map from D-Day. Lots of observations marked around Britain.
Well, that's why places such as Tyree were so important, because they were able to fly 1,000 miles in this direction up towards the Icelandic Gap and really collect all that information that was missing. And because our weather comes from the west, we could get a better idea of what was coming towards us, and it gave us an advantage over the Germans. There'd been high pressure over France, low pressure over England, so it created quite windy conditions just before D-Day.
Help shape the future of all different types of keyhole surgery. A word of warning, viewers may find some of the images in Sarah Cruddas' report upsetting.
The surgical team here are for the first time using 3D technology and robotics to carry out keyhole surgery. The operation is being trialled here in Manchester. The idea is it's cheaper, better for the patient and more efficient, and if successful it can be rolled out across the country.
3, 2, 1.
If it wasn't for Isaac Newton, space travel might not be possible, but with the launch of the space shuttle today, bark from his famous apple tree will be taken into space.
Blazing a trail to scientific...
So what's going to happen to that piece of bark when it's sent into space? Well, I'm not on Mars. I'm actually at the National Space Centre in Leicester to find out more. So Matt, I've got my wetsuit, got a surfboard. Show me what you know.
First thing we need to do is just lay yourself onto the board.
Okay.
And we'll get the position that you need to be.
Laying down flat?
Laying down flat on the board. So you arch your back, little turn and push.
But it's not as easy as the experts make it out to be. For the past few months, this has been a familiar sight on the Humber Bridge as work is carried out to keep it safe for the millions who cross it each year. The project's come in at a cost of nearly £12 million. There's 4 of these gantries dotted across the bridge. The idea is that the work done on them will help prevent rust in the future. And roof timbers are now being studied at Sheffield University using a technique called dendrochronology, looking at the rings which make up every piece of wood. But science isn't always helping. 90 years ago it seemed like a good idea to inject cement into the building, but now that's actually damaging the structure. Now this may all seem like fun and games, but there is a serious side to all of this. Subjects such as science, engineering and maths are seen as vital for future jobs, and by getting kids interested at a young age at places such as the Star Centre, it's hoped it will encourage take-up later in life. Many people watching this might hear the word astronomy, they then hear the word science and maths and they think, no, you can't do that. But actually, if you head outside, you can realise there's so much to see, and it is actually so exciting and so inspirational. Well, yeah, before World War II, they had ships out across the Atlantic. They were able to get so much information, but of course, it was a different story during World War II. As you know, they would have become a target. So the only way they could do that was actually flying out across the Atlantic into storms, into different types of clouds, getting lots of different measurements about the atmosphere and about weather fronts across the Atlantic in order to work out how the weather was going to behave when we got back to the UK. The information from our predictions, such as temperature and wind speed, are then used to make the graphics that you see behind a weather presenter on the screen. And then you're ready to go live. Hi there, good morning. Well, we have got 1 or 2 mist or fog patches about, but those will lift, and it's just an isolated chance of a shower as we head on through the night for much of East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire, and in fact much of the country. So as we head on through the day, very little in the way of significant cloud cover, lots of sunshine about. We will see more in the way of cloudy intervals as we head on through the afternoon. 1 or 2 of those showers on the heavy side. Top temperatures though, not too bad, 19 Celsius. With gentle to moderate southwesterly winds. Not looking as damp as it has been today, with top temperatures for Monday around 18 or 19 in Celsius.